Hello and welcome to Beyond the Wicket. If you're watching us for the first time on YouTube, my name is Deepanjan. I've got Naman and Swapneel with me. And today we are covering the T20 World Cup. India won against Ireland, rather demolished Ireland. But what are your thoughts, guys, on the match? On the surface, there are so many questions about it. So, did you guys watch the match? What are your thoughts?
Hi Deepanjan. Hi Swapnil. So good to see you once again. And speaking of the match, India's first game against Ireland, the T20 World Cup 2024 in New York. First game for India there. Good game in the sense you need to have a victory even you're playing against a team like Ireland. But talking about the pitch, coming from an IPL where you were seeing high 200 scores, not even just 200, high 200s, from high 200s to somewhere scores less than 100.
Yeah.
And it's
And
not just
that
because it
too,
was
yeah,
Ireland
and that too,
playing.
we chased it down in 12 overs. It's not like we chased it in the power play itself.
If Hyderabad would have been there, then they would have challenged it. Let's try and finish it off in 6 overs.
Yeah.
Uh, but wicket looked quite tricky. I mean, if you ask me personally, it wasn't the best of the wickets. Especially if you're having games in USA, if you
Yeah.
want to promote
Yeah.
the one of the things why the World Cup is happening in USA is also, to attract the new people in a new
Hmm.
market.
Yeah.
And you can also see India playing a lot of matches in New York, especially in the group stages. Three of being in New York itself.
Yeah.
The big games in their group, USA, Canada, and of course Pakistan. And if you
Yeah.
want to promote the game, I don't think it was one of the best advertisements.
Yeah.
Um, if you are into cricket, if you want to see the bowling spells, fantastic. I think the way Bumrah bowled to begin with, Arshdeep, Siraj, everyone, Pandya picking up 3 wickets, it was a good bowling setup. There was movement left, right, and center. Ireland batters looked clueless. They looked clueless. And especially when Bumrah came, they didn't know how to face him. And for that reason, Bumrah was the man of the match. I think what was his spell? Three
Yeah.
overs?
He,
Three
yeah,
overs,
three
one
Three
overs,
maiden,
was
one
two for
maiden,
six.
two for
two
six.
for
Yeah.
six. And I think he has now broken Bhuvneshwar Kumar's record of bowling most maidens as well in the
Hmm.
international cricket.
I didn't know that. Really?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah,
Uh,
or is he leveled with him?
I think he has surpassed Bhuvneshwar.
Okay.
Wow. Nice.
Like as soon as Bumrah came, Ireland batters looked clueless.
Yeah,
Hmm.
actually,
What about?
right from the start, the batsman looked clueless because the pitch was doing all sorts of things. The one ball scooted through, one ball stayed low, other one jumped up. So it was a difficult pitch for T20 cricket. I'm all in for pitches that offer something to bowlers, but that something should be even
Yeah.
bounce, decent amount of spin, and
Hmm.
a little bit off the wicket is fine. But yesterday's match was a little bit not as per the standards.
It
Yeah.
was
I
literal
guess you
one-sided.
guys
It
are.
was a literal one-sided match. And Ireland
Uh,
is not that a bad team. They have
I
done
think you
so
guys
many
are being
upsets
too
in the past.
generous with the wicket. It was not up to the par. I think it was like just under a minefield. Just anything just below that. Because it
True
was
that.
because even with drop in pitches, so this is a entirely new stadium they built in about 2 3 months, which was a public park earlier. People used to walk their dogs there 3 months ago. 6 months ago, there were local club matches used to happen there, right? And then they used drop in pitches to make this into a makeshift stadium. But even drop in pitches take some time, right, to sort of settle down. And this one looked really undercooked, as a lot of publications have been calling it undercooked.
It
So
looked a
yes.
lit proper pitch, which is a proper we play in the school matches or we play in the park, literal park like pitch it was.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Even I we actually get better pitches in club matches sometimes than
Oh
this.
yeah.
This is like after you get to play on a used pitch. So this is this is what you get to see after you play on a used pitch that was, say, another match was played on a day or two before. The resultant is these kind of pitches, but to be used in a World Cup. right? In T20
Yeah.
World Cup, especially when you're trying to promote the game in this new country. At least that's what the messaging has been, right? I think this is a very underwhelming, endorsement of any sport, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, let's
And
hope that it doesn't go further, especially for the India-Pakistan game. You don't want
Yeah, I really
that
hope the pitch
scores.
settles down a bit. I don't mind, if it's like at least like it shows even characteristics, right? If it's a little slow, I'll get it. Like it'll be 140, 150, 60 match. I'll take that. Because if there's in like variable bounce and it's two pace, then Rohit Sharma got injured. I think Rishabh Pant got hit as well. So it's just borderline unsafe at this point, right? And you're playing a World Cup match on it, it's just not acceptable. And that
true,
too,
true.
the magnitude of an India Pakistan match. They have promoted this fixture as the premier sort of clash for this tournament, right? And then to play it on these kind of surfaces is just not good enough. Remind me, correct me if I'm wrong, but there is another stadium in Florida, right? If you want to play it
For
in
Florida.
US, then
Yep.
why not play it in Florida? I think that's a baseball ground or something, if I'm not mistaken. But that was used for quite a few series between India and West Indies, right?
Yeah, that's in Fort
Yeah.
Lauderdale, the
Yeah.
stadium.
Why
West
not
Indies
use
also
that?
played. I think it's more of, having matches in USA, New York being that city where you have to
Hmm.
attract. I
Speaking
think the
of
attraction point.
speaking of that, we saw so many empty stands in the match yesterday. Lot of empty spaces, and you do not expect such less crowd for India matches.
I mean, it was a
I mean,
day match on a weekday, right? I think that could be a factor.
that can be one of the factors. And also, when I was looking at the ICC website, I was trying to get tickets. And I was trying for India Pakistan game. I
Any
went.
luck?
I was trying for India Pakistan. Okay, and when I was seeing from the official website, it was showing at least 2,500 USDs, which is available at the official website. I'm not talking about the resale sites,
Yeah.
Viagogo and stuff. But and even there, the minimum price which it was showing was £700, which is around 70,000 plus Indian rupees. Uh, the minimum price even for India versus Ireland game when they were selling at the official ICC website was around 90 to 100 USDs. Okay, you
Hmm.
can say that in US for sports games for sporting events the prices are high, but when a new game is being introduced, somewhere the prices you can cut it down so
Yeah.
that more people can come in. Maybe you can have a scheme like free for certain section, like maybe children or women, whatever, just to promote. Because
And if
if
you
if it's going to be like this, where you're not seeing the full stadium, you're not promoting it. Because ultimately, you don't have to capture just the Indian audience or the Asian audience for a World Cup games. You have to, get along all the people of all the ethnicity to watch this beautiful game. It's not
Yeah.
just about Asian countries playing just another country. No, that should not be the thinking of promoting a new game. I
yeah,
think
and
prices, one of the reasons I would say, I think is also about the pricing. And let's see
yeah,
how the India Pakistan game goes in terms of the capacity wise. It's not a big stadium in terms of capacity. I think it's around 30,000. Even if they can't able to fill in 30,000 somewhere, I think the prices then what I'm saying right now which will make sense.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think when you're trying to promote, as I said earlier, right, because that's been the messaging all along that we're trying to promote this game into different areas of the world. If you're trying to promote it, then make it accessible, right? If it's not accessible, then what's the point? Then you're just banking on the new fans, right? Then why, organize this in a country where there's no infrastructure for cricket? So you have to literally build a stadium, go, the whole 9 yards, right? So yeah, I mean that's a bit disappointing. And even for the other matches, and those matches are again all the India matches would be all day matches, like test matches. They would start playing at what 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, if I'm not mistaken. And even for other matches, like they were playing with absolute empty stadiums. It looked like we're back to COVID era, where your games are played under in under closed door situations. So yeah,
Yeah,
I mean
and
that it just looks very bad.
yeah, and for home team like West Indies, you should have matches in the evening. But West Indies played one match, right? So that was in the morning itself.
Yeah, 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 because all the viewers are in Southeast Asia, like
Yeah.
in the subcontinent. So you gotta accommodate that. And even India West Indies series, right? All the T20Is, all the one days, they start playing bright early in the morning
Yeah.
because of the audience in India. When even their audience, probably aren't up to watch the match. It's kind of
I
it's
mean,
kind of
Yeah,
bizarre.
it's like
maybe for once you can understand with the bilateral series, but for
Yeah,
World Cup
yeah,
events, okay, I get that. Maybe for India matches you can do that, right?
mm,
Because of the viewership. But for other countries, I think if West Indies playing in a daytime and if they're playing on a weekday, of course it won't be that easy for people, to be coming and watch the game. Somewhere I
yeah,
think we are used to seeing a lot of night games, and just for the viewership you're having day matches, and then you're seeing the stadiums being empty. You're promoting a World Cup as well. It just doesn't look good.
yeah. I mean, imagine this: an American fan comes in to watch this game. Okay, it's a World Cup apparently, and the US is playing, so it's apparently a big deal. So they don't know what this game is all about. They come and the empty stands, or even if they're watching from home, right? So they're like, why? Then why is it a big deal? Because no one's here to watch it, and all the matches are
true.
happening like bright early, but they'll be like, but I heard all the matches are in evening, or at least under the lights, right? And just maybe it's just me, but like watching T20 cricket bright early in the morning in daylight, it just looks very weird to
Doesn't
me.
feel, yeah,
It doesn't feel the
doesn't
same.
feel good.
Maybe because we're used to watching all like night games, but it just doesn't
But having
look the
said that,
same.
even you're seeing the crowds also, not coming
Yeah,
that much in number,
yeah,
which
Yeah.
doesn't look,
And
in terms of promoting the game.
to add this, the Caribbean crowd is very, you know, they crowd for the during the CPL. They are very passionate. They are like partying in around the parks. They have the seating areas, different seating
mm,
areas. So like the vibe in Caribbean is different during the night.
I think even in the daytime for Caribbean, especially if they're playing a game against West Indies, or sorry, if they're playing a game against England or Australia, I think for them, they are the arch rivals, especially England.
Hmm.
Whenever they play, you'll see the crowd backing West Indies players. I mean, you'll see that rivalry. It's just there. For West Indies, it's England.
Yeah.
But hopefully, I mean, somewhere, if they can, maybe reduce the price. Of course, you won't be now changing the timings, but something somewhere.
yeah. I mean,
One
just
of the things
to
which
sorry to
England does
interrupt you.
good. Yeah,
Sorry to
sorry.
interrupt you. As we record this, Pakistan is playing US, and Pakistan made 159 in 20 overs, and US 145 for 3 in 19 overs. So in 6 balls, they need 15 runs to win.
Yeah. So
This is
again,
this is
again that
amazing, bizarre.
yeah, again that is how important the associate teams are, because you hear so heartwarming stories from each of the nations, and they have one chance to showcase their
Yeah,
talent to this cricketing world.
yeah, this is amazing. I think this is another sort of just the other side of the coin when a minefield is a minefield for both teams, right? So when the pitch is sort of has these kind of characteristics, it's dangerous for both teams. And maybe just maybe we'll end up seeing really close games. It won't be 200, 220, and 250s that we are used to seeing in IPL, which we have talked about that in World Cup will be very different. We'll again see the 160s and 180s being match winning totals, right? So I think if these are any indications to go by, I think the World Cup will be really interesting. But as we speak, US needs 13 runs in 4 balls, right? If they pull off, if they pull this off, man, it's wide open from here because both India Pakistan need basically one win right? In the first match. Like India won the first match, so virtually even if they lose against Pakistan or lose one match, they're safe, right? So
Mm.
you're only allowed to lose one match. So Pakistan, if they lose this one match, they are in trouble.
Yeah. I'm not
So what?
understanding why
Yeah,
Corey Anderson has not been promoted up though.
yeah, I don't know. I'm also surprised Liam Plunkett isn't part of the squad.
Yeah, yeah. I was unsure about whether he retired or not, but could see him in some of the commercials, the trophy shoots, and some of the images.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, coming back to India. So, what did you think about the performance of the batsmen? Because we saw Virat Kohli charging down the wicket, because they were in like variable bounds. He was trying to counter that, but he looked very different than his usual demeanor. Like he was trying to go after the bowler from literally ball one, trying to step out to attack, and unfortunately, again, he got one that bounced a few centimeters more, got the top edge, caught it mid third man, gone for one, right? But then with Rishabh Pant, I think like the debate of either if it's Samson versus Rishabh Pant, the debate is settled. I think he has solidified his position at three, or has he? Right? Because Virat Kohli didn't do well at opening. So in the next match, do they bring in Jaiswal and Kohli goes at three and Rishabh goes at Shivam Dube's place? So it's basically Dube for Jaiswal for the next match. Or do you think they would stick with the same batting order?
I
I
think
think,
yeah,
sorry.
go on. Sorry.
No, I think they will stick to the same formula. It doesn't make
Yeah.
sense just after a game, especially in the batting lineup, to have the changes. Maybe what I feel, they can have a change in the bowling. It was very
Hmm.
surprising. I don't know if you guys noticed, neither Kuldeep nor Chahal in the playing 11. And we expect at least one of them to be there in the playing 11. None of us expected that Dube, Pandya would be playing together and not those two spinners.
Yeah,
And
what
you can't
surprising
have
was
that.
Jadeja and Akshar playing in the same team.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Basically, you were having four all rounders.
Yeah.
You can also think maybe, at the start of the earlier matches, let's give other players also opportunity to play. Because I think, especially bowlers like Kuldeep or Chahal, they are match winners and they have delivered in the past. So, not to see them in the playing 11 was somewhere a shocker. But okay, it's the first game of the World Cup matches. You're playing against Ireland. You can take that risk maybe. But I'm not expecting that on 9th of June, India Pakistan.
Yeah.
You'll see at least one of them for sure.
So I
And
think like
As
Akshar
we
at
as we
eight.
speak, the match is tied.
What?
As we speak, the match is tied.
Oh man.
guys,
So we have the first super over of the World
Second,
Cup.
second,
second, second,
second.
Oh, it's
second.
the second. Which was the
It's the
first one?
second.
The Namibia,
Ah
Oman.
man, I
No,
need to I need to do a better job of following it.
Yes.
no, Oman's was today. Namibia and UAE.
Wait. So is this the
No, no.
third super over?
No, it's
No,
the
no,
second.
second. Namibia,
Okay.
UAE का था match.
Ah, and who won?
Namibia.
And you
No,
gotta
it was
give
Namibia
credit
versus
to
Oman.
US here.
It was
Namibia.
Namibia versus Oman only.
Oman only.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So Australia's match today was with.
Oman.
Okay,
No, no.
same group.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'm saying you
So
gotta give credit to US here. They basically made 159 in for three. They have 7 wickets in hand. So they were very comfortable.
yeah, yeah. And if you see, they have a proper structural team.
Yep.
Like fast bowlers are good. They have
Yeah,
a spin. They have an Indian spinner, so he will be good. And they have a strong batting core.
yeah. And they've got Nitish Kumar as well.
I think
He,
whatever the result is going to be for US versus Pakistan, I think this
Yeah.
is the game where you are saying, yeah, World Cup is in the US. This is the proper promotional game
Yeah,
when a
yeah.
home team
Yeah,
is
imagine if US
almost
pulled who was the last guy on strike? Was it Nitish Kumar? I think right? He hit the four, right? Yeah. Imagine if Nitish Kumar pulled off a DK. 5 runs needed from one ball, he hit a six.
and it was a good ball. It was not a
yeah.
very easy ball to
Yeah.
hit. It was a low full toss dipping on him, and he just cleared it.
And before that,
Amazing.
he had hit a six, a big six.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Was
That was
you're
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones, Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
and you are hitting to a bowler like Haris Rauf. I mean,
Yeah,
his pace is on
And
another planet.
you can visibly see Babar Azam a little furious.
Animated.
animated.
Ha-
Yeah, he played a proper Obsy innings, bro. 44 or 43.
When I when I started watching, he was like 23, 7 of 23. Sorry, 23 of 7 is, we are used to say that, but he
7 of
was
23.
7. Huh.
Uh, like,
Because they lost early wickets as well.
come on, man. You're playing US here.
That it doesn't feel like, that USA is the team which is playing for the first time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, credit to them. Amazing.
Yeah,
They're,
yeah, yeah. So that's
And at
why,
one
like,
and at one point it didn't even look like they're going to be scoring 159.
yeah, yeah,
Pakistan was in deep, deep trouble.
deep
yeah.
trouble.
I saw there was like some 114 or something for five down. Babar was still batting. So it was Babar and Iftikhar, I think. Iftikhar,
Yes,
was it
yes,
Chachu?
yes.
What is it called?
Yeah.
Right. I think there's some time for the super over. But what do you guys think about the next matches? Like coming back to India again. Next match is probable 11. Let's make our picks. So are we going with the same opening pair with and Rohit?
Yeah,
Yep.
Okay. And who's at number three?
Pant.
Pant,
Pant at number three. Who's at number four? Is it
Surya.
Surya Dada?
Surya.
Surya.
So it's Sky at
Surya.
four. So who's the number five? Is it Dubey or do we have other option? No.
No,
I'll go, yeah, Dubey and Pandya. I'm not
Dubey
So you're
and
not.
Pandya.
Pandya out.
So would you, because say we got we got six Pandya got we got Pandya at six, Jadeja at seven. So would you give Dubey another chance at five, or would you bring in Samson, or is it like too harsh on Dubey?
I think it would be harsh because the kind of form he's coming in. Dubey
His for
has
horse
been there
his
because
form
of his
isn't too great actually
amazing six
after he
hitting
got picked.
abilities. Yeah, amazing six hitting abilities, and you need that, in
But
your squad.
but
And you never
the pitch
know.
is very
Rohit has,
different, man.
yeah, and of course, and Rohit has also told Dubey that you
Hmm,
might even be required to bowl. You don't know how the surface is going to play if if you
hmm.
have to bowl 1 or 2 overs. So
Yeah,
which Dubey gives you that option.
yeah,
And
true.
along with Pandya, because he has picked up 3 wickets, he is in
Hmm,
form. I think you don't want to change that. The
hmm,
only change I'm expecting is instead of
Kuldeep
Akshar,
for
yeah,
Akshar.
Kuldeep for Akshar. I think
hmm.
rest everything remains the same.
Kuldeep for Akshay. Yeah, I think same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the same because I think we got a solid enough batting order. We don't need, because playing Akshar at eight shows the insecurity we have, the lack of trust on the middle order. Because like let's be honest, like Dubey, we got Dubey at five, Hardik at six, Jadeja at seven. All three of them are coming, in like from IPL out of form. Ever since Dubey got picked, he hasn't played a single good innings, right? Jadeja
Yeah.
hasn't had a great IPL with the bat. So was Pandya. He had a
Yeah.
horrible, not I wouldn't say horrible, like but for his standard, it wasn't great. So I think there was a bit of insecurity, or I think with
And
Ireland
I
they were
guess,
trying to
no,
sort
I
of,
guess, and Rohit likes a long batting lineup.
yeah,
He has
yeah, yeah,
favored batting lineup.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And
There was always like that's why Shardul Thakur was given such a
For
long
chances,
rope,
yeah.
right?
yeah. And
But
But no,
I
I
think,
see,
think
if you,
go on.
yeah, and if you see Rohit's track record as a captain, he surprises you in the most crucial times with his selections, which often go under the bus.
Hmm,
Because till the start of the 2022 World Cup, it was all about Chahal being the lead spinner in the World Cup.
hmm,
But the moment World Cup started, it was Ashwin who played all the matches.
hmm,
And now in this World Cup, the buzz was all around Kuldeep Yadav. And
yeah,
in the first match, you saw Akshar Patel.
hmm. True that.
I
I
I
think,
hope it's I hope it's just a one odd situation, because you need a lead spinner, a lead
hmm,
wrist spinner in your
hmm,
lineup.
hmm.
and
I think
Kuldeep's record has
one of
been
the
really good
reasons,
against
yeah,
Pakistan. That too in the big games. You
yeah,
need to
yeah,
have wicket taking options. And Pakistan at the moment they're also struggling with their batting.
hmm,
And
yeah,
what I'm seeing in the US, especially in the New York when they're going to play, the boundaries are not small. Boundaries are big, especially the leg side boundaries. It's not like 50 meters boundary.
Hmm.
If they're going to be fancying, they need to hit really big sixes.
Yeah. Yeah. I think one of the reasons in the previous T20 World Cup as well, one of the reasons why Ashwin was given the opportunity, which they said because he can contribute with the bat if needed, right? As a number eight. And that gave him the edge over Chahal. I think if we go by that logic, if we play Kuldeep, Kuldeep can bat. Like he's not a bunny with the bat in hand, right? So he can add a few runs, few crucial runs down the order. So I think now that we have that aspect of Kuldeep, he did well in the IPL. With that in mind, I think he needs to be the lead spinner. Ahead
And you
ahead
shouldn't
of ahead of Akshar there.
compromise bowling strength over batting.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can
Especially
never
in
against
these
in the big
conditions.
matches.
In the big matches, in these conditions,
Yeah.
right? Because
If it was just a slog fest like IPL, you just
hmm,
strengthen your batting lineup till 9 and
yeah,
10.
yeah,
And but
yeah,
this is different. And if
yeah,
when the opposition had someone like uh if they play they are playing Fakhar Zaman in the middle order,
hmm,
3 or 4.
hmm,
So if he is there to face 8 overs of Akshar and Jadeja, it can be troublesome for India.
yeah. And they've got Azam Khan as well, like
Yeah.
in the lower order. He's a big slogger as well. He loves to
If
go after spinners.
Yeah, and Iftikhar is also a good player of spin
Iftikhar did score runs against
in
Yeah,
the
India
yeah,
last time
last
in the World Cup.
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They've also got
And
Shadab Khan. He did very well today.
Shadab Khan, yeah.
Yeah, and also under like these conditions, he was playing at a really high strike rate. So they've got
Yeah, he actually gave the momentum today.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think they got to 159 because of him. Otherwise, they were looking at 140-ish. And
Mm.
But
that
I
too,
think
like,
that the kind of wickets you're seeing in USA at the moment, you need to have really good, basics towards the game. You can't just simply slog the ball because there you are seeing that movement when pacers are bowling. You are
And the
seeing that
bounce.
and the uneven bounce. Sometimes, as Swapnil, you said earlier that sometimes there's more bounce. Sometimes the ball is keeping low, and you can see as we are recording live that when Pakistan was batting in their first innings, they struggled
hmm,
because of the movement, and there were some really good balls.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So I think having said that, for Pakistan, I would say it would be even more tricky to bat on. So somewhere I think their main batters will be a Babar Azam and Rizwan.
Yeah.
And if they lose early wickets, then it will be a trouble for them.
Hmm.
As simple as that.
You know, after what you have seen in the Ireland game, do you think it'll be really difficult to face the Pakistan Pacers on these kind of track? Because they've got a fearsome bowling attack, man. They've got, Shaheen Afridi, they've got Muhammad Amir, they've got Naseem Shah, Haris Rauf, and of course with the ball we've got Shadab Khan, Iftikhar can bowl as well. Um, who's the left arm spinner? I think he's also in the side. What's his name? I think in these kind of track, if he gets a game, he'll be very
Yeah.
tricky to play.
Yeah, he
Imam is
is
a
one
really
of
best
the
bowlers in the power plays.
Especially in these kind of wickets, if it sort of grips a bit, he'll have a handful.
and
So yeah, I
he's
mean,
injured for today's match. That's why
oh,
he's
is it?
not featured. Yeah.
Hmm.
No, that's why I was surprised. Imad, why is he not there?
Yeah, yeah, same. So yeah, I think
Uh,
for sure, like for India game, he'll probably be there. So it's gonna be tough, man. It won't be easy.
From Pakistan bowling lineup, I think Naseem Shah would be the biggest threat. Biggest
Hmm.
threat. Like if he keeps attacking the stumps, he will be very difficult to play.
Hmm. Yeah, I think he has a very sort of orthodox line and length, right? He likes to bowl length balls, sort of hitting the top of off, like very traditional, very classical fast bowling
Yeah.
sort of strategy. I think he'll be
And
very effective.
what you saw from India last night was India kept attacking the stumps. They didn't
Hmm.
give much room to the
yeah.
batsman, and that's why they were successful than Ireland.
Yeah, yeah. Great. Okay. So as we speak, USA made 17 runs in the Super Over. They
Wow.
lost a wicket on the last ball, but it could
17
have been more.
runs
17
is no
runs.
joke.
Yeah, I mean,
against the
it was,
Pakistani batting lineup
S-
yeah,
or bowling lineup
they
against the
gave,
Pakistani bowling lineup
18. They
yeah.
made 18.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. So there's a run out on the, like they were trying to take two, 18
against
Yeah.
the
runs.
Pakistani bowling lineup, scoring
Yeah.
18
There
runs
are
when you're
three
playing.
wides. There are three wides. Mohammad Amir considered three wides, and all of them, like, they consider runs along with the wide.
Buys.
Yeah.
So who will bat for Pakistan? Who will come?
Um, I don't know. Maybe Azam Khan,
I guess it should
Shadab.
be one of them should be Iftikhar, Shadab, and
Is Fakhar Zaman playing?
yeah,
Yeah.
Fakhar Zaman.
Fakhar Zaman. I think Fakhar
I
Zaman.
have a feeling it's gonna be Babar and Fakhar Zaman.
I
I
would
have a
say
feeling.
maybe Rizwan or Fakhar Zaman. I
No,
would
not
personally
Rizwan.
want.
I think it's gonna be. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be
No,
Babar and Fakhar
Rizwan.
Zaman.
Why I said Rizwan? Because Rizwan, he's one of those batters who sweeps fast bowlers. He can
Hmm.
be, play that unorthodox shots as well.
Yeah.
Purely on that
Yeah.
basis. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'd personally like I'd
Uh,
personally like sorry, Iftikhar and Fakhar Zaman. Let's see. What's your prediction for this match, guys?
I think I think US is gonna pull this off.
Yeah.
They've got a good bowling. I don't know who's gonna bowl for them, but they've got a good bowling lineup, decent bowling lineup. I don't know.
If Pakistan is losing this, then definitely they will be under tremendous pressure against
Yeah.
India, and that's where I would back Indian batters over Pakistani bowlers.
Mm, yeah. If we can put them under pressure here, see, I think the threat from Pakistan will be the bowlers. Because if the first match is anything to go by and the match is happening on the same ground, of course, wouldn't be the same pitch. But if the first match is anything to go by, even a 140 would be tricky.
Of course.
See, one if they get to 130, 140, it can still be defended. So it's gonna be close. So I think the threat is gonna be their bowlers. Yeah, if they lose this one, they'll be under tremendous pressure, and that could play a part. I mean, that will play a part. All right, I think
Yeah.
let's wrap up. On that note, you were listening to Beyond the Wicket. We'll be back after the India-Pakistan match, and we hope we are all happy and cheerful after the match. But yeah, I mean the predictions are, of course, India is gonna win. And anything from you guys? And do you think it'll be a thriller, or do you think it'll be a walk in the park? Literally,
I
because it
think
was a park.
irrespective of anything, I would want to be a very good contest.
Mm,
Like you,
Yeah.
as one of the ambassadors of promoting the games, this game should be the game where you feel like, okay, this is cricket. This is just like the magnitude what in USA they talk about the Super Bowls.
yeah.
And it's on a Sunday.
Mm,
I think you should have a good contest.
yeah. Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
having a good India Pakistan contest, you
Mm,
know, somewhere you will be successful in promoting a game and you'll realize the magnitude of India versus Pakistan, which we know, but the US audience in general won't
yeah.
know.
True that. I
So
don't
bad.
mind if it's a super over as long as India wins. If it's a repeat of the bowl out 17 years down the line.
What bet? It would be good for us, but for the players, it would be a different tricky situation,
Yeah.
especially for Pakistan having two super overs in two consecutive games. I mean, no.
All right. I think
Yeah.
let's wrap up. On that note, you were listening to Beyond the Wicket. We'll be back after the India-Pakistan match, and we hope we are all happy and cheerful after the match. But yeah, I mean the predictions are, of course, India is gonna win, and I'll see you next time.